As for Miller, the body, an important thing to work. He said to us earlier today he thought that that's something he could exploit with Cole. And his right hand is an excellent punch. So from his standpoint, he would like to land that shot as well and use that as his power shot tonight.
Let's talk about the USBA rules. And they are similar to the other rules we spoke of earlier, except no 3 knockdown rule, no standing 8.
Yeah, neither of those are in effect, and the rest are the same. The 10-point must scoring system. Judges, of course, will score, and the fighter cannot be saved by the belt in any round here.
I think one thing that Nate Miller is certainly going to have to think about, and I think we have to go back to the comment that he made to us this morning, that he feels Al Cole can be hit with a lot of different punches. I don't think he wants to get too careless, and I could see that happening.
No, you can't be careless with Al Cole, even though he looks like he's very vulnerable. There you see Nate Miller. You can't be careless with Cole because he can hit you with some very good shots.
Coming off a loss that he actually started our conversation this morning by apologizing for. He said, I got to make some amends. That was a bad one. He said, got knocked down in the first round. He said the fight, for all intent and purpose, was one punch.
Yeah, and the thing is that as we look at Al Cole coming in, that one punch got him so off kilter in the early going he couldn't perform well. Well, this, of course, is Al Cole country. He works for the Triple Threat, with the Triple Threat gym here.
And he comes in with the belt, the USBA belt, being held aloft. It's just a little different than the other belts. Those have emeralds and rubies. These have jelly beans. But, hey, it's a title. So we're just about set to get started with this one. And let's do that now with the ring announcer here, our own Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is sanctioned by the United States Boxing Association, supervisor at ringside Marion Mohammed, and it is approved by the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board, Boxing Commissioner Larry Hazard Sr., Chairman Jerry Gormley, board members Gary Shaw and Richard Harrison, Deputy Commissioners at ringside Lawrence Wallace and R. Yogi Hiltner. The 3 judges scoring this bout are Eva Shane, John Potteray, and Al DeVito. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Earl C. Shaw and Dr. Tomas Ortiz. The timekeeper is Roosevelt Gilbert, and counting to the knockdown seconds is alternate referee Randy Newman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Newark, New Jersey, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the USBA Cruiserweight Championship. The referee for this bout is Joe Cortez. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the gold trunks with black trim. He weighed in at an even 187 pounds from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. His professional record, 18 victories with 15 KOs, only 2 defeats. Let's welcome the challenger, Mr. Nate Miller. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with red letters and weighing in at 189.5 pounds from Newark, New Jersey. As a professional, 16 victories with 8 KOs, only 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, the USBA Cruiserweight Champion, Alfred Ice Cole.
All right, gentlemen, the rules were given to both of you earlier. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Shake hands. Good luck to both of you.
So we are set to go. Al Cole looking all the part of a confident fighter. And, of course, he's got the home fans in his corner. And in the other corner, a very, very confident young man, Nate Miller.
On paper, a very, very even matchup. And if there is one edge, you'd have to give it to Miller in terms of the experience and the opposition he has fought.
You didn't get the sense it was a false bravado on the part of Nate Miller this morning either. He really feels that he's in shape to win this fight, and he's ready to go. Although I have to say, he did come in here pretty cool. He hasn't really broken a sweat yet.
Miller landing a left hook on the inside. I will tell you the punch that Nate Miller is going to land in this bout, and he's going to land it off, and that's going to be the left hook. He's going to land some huge left hooks in this bout. That punch is there for him.
It's been the one chink in the armor of Al Cole is that he's been hit. He got hit with the left hand right there.
Yeah, defense is something he has worked very hard at. Now Cole, really a delightful young man, as is Nate Miller. These are 2 guys who, if you're in the audience and you're a fan, you'd hate to root against either of them because they're great guys.
Absolutely true.
The The interesting thing is, I don't think Nate Miller is traditionally the kind of guy that will crank up a million left hooks. So he's looking for the right more often, but I just think the way this fight is setting up early, that left, there it is on the inside, that will be there for him all night. And he was working the body, Miller. That's what he wanted to do.
Getting in and getting out. Pretty effective round so far for Miller.
Lunging with the right, and Cole is hit and stunned.
And another good right hand by Miller. Al Cole said he took his training a little bit lightly for the first Leon Taylor fight. He did avenge that loss, got hit with 2 right hands. An uppercut and another right hand by Miller.
So far, the jab of Al Cole is completely ineffective, and that is so important for him.
Very big cut, very bad cut over the left eye of Nate Miller.
Oh, my. And did it come from a clash of, yes, did it come from a clash of heads or a punch? That will be very, very important.
And you hate to see that happen early in this fight because it really could have an effect on the fight. Significantly, though, there's also a little swelling under the left eye of Al Cole. Doesn't appear to be anything too bad right now, but they're going to have some work to do in the corner of Miller because it is in a place where blood will get in the eye.
And this comes in a round in which Miller had been doing quite well, although now Al Cole steps up the pace and lands some good shots. A cut obviously bothering Miller. Dabbing at it. You see it in his face. Miller's thinking, oh, man, of all the things right now in this first round of my first title fight for the USBA title anyway.
Yeah, that's a very bad break for Nate Miller.
But, again, we'll try and get a determination in between rounds from the officials here if they called that an accidental clash of heads. And if they did, and it was stopped because of that, they would have to go halfway through the bout before they could go to the scorecards.
And it is a bad cut. There's no question about it. Some real work to be done in the corner now. The value of a good cut man right here.
You ain't bending your knees, chap. You ain't bending your knees. You're not bending your knees. Bending your mouthpiece. Hey, man. Not bend your knees. You cut. You got to go after him now. You hear me? You got to go after him. You got to bend your knees. You got to throw combinations. Okay? You cut, Nate.
I know.
You got to go after him. You letting him get momentum. Don't let him gain no momentum.
The headbutt. Shit out. All right, let's go.
So what to read about the headbutt?
Well, Joe Cortez just yelled over to us. He didn't see if it was a clash of heads, but we know that it was. There it is, right in there, and the blood will start flowing. And he dabs at the eye. The blood starts flowing. It was a clash of heads, but forget what you just saw because it wasn't called a clash of heads. So this fight goes on, and if that cut is bad enough to cause the fight to be stopped, Nate Miller will lose.
And you can't blame Joe Cortez. He was just, it's strictly a judgment thing. He did not see it. He was honest about it.
Yes.
It's not that he blew a call. It's just that he didn't see it.
He just happened to be right behind them when that happened and didn't see that that was what created the cut because it did take a while for that cut to start bleeding.
And it has started bleeding again here in this round, too.
Oh, what a shame if that would create an ending to this bout. That would be detrimental to Miller or create an ending period.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Al Cole is coming in with his head, too.
Yep.
There's a lot of swelling now under the right eye, actually, of Al Cole.
Billy Hayward working in the corner on that cut. He's a good one.
Very physical fight. Not so much physical from the punches that are being thrown, but there's a lot of contact with shoulders and heads.
Miller just landing an uppercut in there.
They told Miller in his corner that he had to go after Al Cole. I don't know. Does that seem a little premature?
Well, maybe a smidge, although Billy Hayward may look at that cut and know that it's something that he's going to have a tough time stopping.
The cut is not bleeding as much right now as it did in the first round.
Neither man has been effective with his jab. And for both men, it's an important weapon. There's Miller landing one.
Nice combination by Cole.
He gets there with the right hand. Miller's right hand happy. I'm telling you, the punch that will get it done for him in this bout right now is the left hook. If he takes a step off to his left and cranks up the left hook as he did in round one, he will hit Al Cole.
is not appreciably worse in this round than it was in the first round. In fact, I think it's probably a little better. Oftentimes, the cut man, if he can get a second chance at it, will manage to get it stopped.
Yes, that's a very good point, Barry. Which might be a point against the idea of telling him to go out after. What a difference. This fight has completely turned since that cut open. Miller was landing almost at will before that. Now it's nip and tuck.
Well, I'm sure he's got part of his mind on the cut and part of his mind on the business at hand, too.
And yet there's very little blood now coming from that cut.
Good right hand by Cole. That shook Miller and also started the bleeding again. We'll be back. Netting to me.
Well, I think they have the strong feeling that that cut could stop this bout at any time, though the doctor looked at it and decided not to. They really urged him to use his jab.
And you could see in the second round, pretty even actually.
Now, they told him that Miller gave away 2 rounds. I thought Miller won the first round. I gave the second round to Cole. There's the hook by Cole. Is really using his head. I got to tell you, on the inside, he really is.
Well, and that's what they complained about in Miller's corner, too. They told Joe Cortez between rounds.
Very uneven effort right now by both men, truthfully. And you know what? When you fight out Cole, he's got such a herky-jerky style that you kind of get lured into it. That may be Al Cole's ultimate strength as a cruiserweight as he continues. And he can lure people into that kind of a bout.
On your card, you have it even, so you disagree with the corner of Nate Miller.
I thought the first round was his. Right now, Nate Miller looks extremely lethargic and confused. He is not, he came out here purposeful. And when that cut happened, it changed him totally. Just totally changed him. Not using his jab as they wanted. He's letting Al Cole get off first. It's not that Cole is punching that accurately, but Miller's doing less offensively right now. The jab of Miller, it works well when he does it.
Neither man really doing a lot of damage. The cut has opened up again and is bleeding pretty well, or pretty poorly.
There's the hook by Miller. I mean, I'm harping on it. He's not really a left hook artist, but he does have a left hook, and if you throw it, it could land. He's got to take a step to his left in order to throw it. And he is also not using the jab as much as his corner wanted him to. Al Cole is taking what is given to him. Even at that, it's a fairly close round.
Well, Miller is not doing very much,
No.
and he's letting Al Cole take these rounds.
Letting him dictate the pace.
I'm sure there'll be nothing but confidence in Al Cole's corner, and probably with good reason right at the moment. Cole turning around, but was short with the left hand. So we come to the end of round number 3, and it's pretty much more of the same kind of thing. Do your job.
Well, the interesting thing is Billy Hayward has done a pretty darn good job of closing it up.
Absolutely.
It's not swelling. Occasionally it gets it bleeds, but I think you're right. They would need to give Nate Miller the confidence that nothing has changed in this bout. He came out in the first round with purpose, did well, probably won it, and it's only in his mind probably that he thinks that that cut is a big factor.
Look at the numbers from the third round, and again, pretty close.
Yeah, even though Cole is probably winning those rounds, and we gave him the round, it's not a huge difference. Somewhere, though, there the cut opens again. Nate Miller has got to make up his mind to throw punches the way he did for the first 2/3 of the first round. If he doesn't, he will simply lose this bout. And he'll lose it regardless of how well or poorly Al Cole performs. You know, he told us today, he said, I can hit Al Cole with anything, and early in the first round he was, but now he's not throwing with conviction. Cole is still lunging like he was earlier. It's just that Miller isn't throwing effectively. Not much on those punches in Miller. Cole missing, as he often does. His accuracy rate is not among the highest of boxers we've seen on ESPN. But there he lands the uppercut. Keep throwing, something's going to land.
That was a good shot. That was probably his best shot of the fight. And that makes Miller fight back, but to not much avail. And again, you have to point out, the cut is not bad right now.
No, it really isn't. I mean, it's there and it's bleeding a little, but doctor's taking a good look at it a couple of times. Good hook. Look at the hooks by Miller. Those stunned Al Cole. I'm telling you, if Nate Miller takes a step to his left and starts cranking left hooks, he can hurt Cole with that punch. Right there is where he's got to take that step to the left, crank up a left hook, and it'll land 80% of the time, I assure you.
Actually, he's doing almost the opposite. He's falling off to the right side.
Precisely. And, you know, it's not his stock in trade, but I see him throw those hooks and land them. Cole looking for the uppercut. There it is, which has landed a couple of times and been effective for him.
And 4 jabs in a row by Cole, getting more effective with that for the first time.
Now the last one landed, and that's the point. Al Cole's throwing more punches, so even though he's missing a lot, some are getting through.
So we head to the end of the 4th round, and it is a fight that is starting to be owned by Al Cole. We'll be back.
That left hook.
It's a double left hook, and it rocked Cole. Cole still hurt.
Look at every time he throws that hook, he can get to Cole. Every single time. Cole has landed 35% of his punches and 33% for Miller. But in this round, look, Nate Miller's gone after him like he wants this bout.
Also, right now, the cut is as bad as it's been since the 1st round. Bleeding pretty heavily right now.
Right there is where Miller has to take a step to his left and just crank those hooks. Man, that punch is there. I have not seen a punch there for a boxer like that in a long time.
Oh, work on it, work on it.
Right hand by Cole. And now the pattern continues again. So Miller did a little damage. Cole came back with a right hand. And now the fight has sort of returned to its normal course, which has been Al Cole doing just enough to win.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I mean, though this round has been better for Miller, neither man has really worked his jab like they wanted to. Clearly, Cole is an important weapon for him. They've been urging Nate Miller for rounds to do that. Look at that hook. Look at that. It lands. I tell you that punch is there. When he cranks it up, it'll get there.
He does have a tendency to leave the right hand out there when he throws it.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes Al Cole susceptible to the right. Keeps his right very low, and when he throws it, it stays. Look at it. It stayed down so long. I mean, he does not get his right back up, and that's where that hook is available. That's one of the things Leon Taylor landed, the left jab and the left hook.
Miller also looks a little tired.
He has been very lethargic. There's a good jab by Cole.
And Miller's punches don't seem to have much right now either.
Nate Miller lost his sense of direction and his fire for this bout after that cut in round 1. I mean, really lost it.
Right now, he really looks like a tired fighter.
And he had a good beginning to this 5th round. Throwing uppercuts from way too far back is Nate Miller. He'll get blocked with something.
And he's keeping his hands right at about the belt.
And this is a round which he won the first part of it, so it could be tough. New York.
Nate Miller right now looks like a beaten fighter.
I'm going back in the locker room. You selling us up. You sound us out, man. When you gonna start fighting, Nick? When you gonna start fighting, baby? You got to start fighting. This is the end of the 5th round. You ain't done shit. Nothing. You hit him a couple times. Come on.
Well, once again, what it amounts to is a lecture rather than advice. And sometimes, I'm not saying that's always wrong. Sometimes you want to give a fighter a bit of a pep talk, but they really haven't said, here's what you need to do.
Maybe they don't agree with my analysis of using that hook, but they have told him to use the jab, and that's important.
When you gonna take? When you gonna take?
Keep them hands up and start jabbing more. Jab, hook, right hand, go to that body. Slow him down, all right?
The 6th round starting now. The fight is halfway over and you ain't done shit. Either one of you goddamn. Bend your knees.
Here is Miller using the jab and just missing with the right hand. That would speak to the advice they are giving him, which is use the jab. I would just go a step further. They said jab, hook, and right hand. Well, see what I'd throw the jab, hook, hook, and then hook again and again.
Through the first 5 rounds, you can see it really is.
And here's why we can say that Al Cole's probably ahead in this bout. That 101 basically came because of the one big round that Miller had, which was in the first round. He had a very big edge in the first round. All the rest of the rounds have been close in connects, but probably won by Cole. Although I gave the last one to Miller, it's true.
So on your card, still a very close fight, and a fight that Nate Miller certainly could win.
And I'll tell you that, yeah, and you know, so isn't it funny? Here he is, in my estimation, very close, and yet the way he's fighting doesn't give you the feeling Nate Miller thinks he could win, and the way his corner is talking makes you feel like they feel desperation.
And I almost promise you that the judges will have it more lopsided than Cole.
I think you're right. Miller wanted to work the body. He did that in the first round, and like everything else, after that first round, he lost his direction. And yet in that last round, now see, there's a good uppercut on the inside by Miller. Now from Al Cole's standpoint, it's so funny. Here's a guy in front of him who, because of the cut, lost his direction in this bout. And truthfully, Al Cole has not been able to take advantage as much as he would like. And the main reason is that Al Cole has 2 liabilities as a boxer. One is defense, which has been better tonight, and the second is his accuracy as a puncher, which has never been too good.
He still has tendency to lunge a great deal.
But the one thing Al Cole is doing here, to give him credit for it, is he's been very aggressive and very busy, and that alone may be getting him these rounds.
Nate Miller caught Cole on the break with a left hand.
But this round, a perfect example. Neither man landing very many, so you have to really pay attention to see what's landing and how well a guy is doing in this bout. And Nate Miller's making a huge mistake, relying on a weak uppercut from the outside. He'll get hit with a counter punch if he keeps doing that.
That left hand by Cole was a little short. He took a right hand.
Good ride by Miller. It's heating up now. It's ugly, but it's exciting.
Accurate. Now a little holding by both men here.
In a wild round 6.
I would imagine there'll be even more of a pep talk in Nate Miller's corner and a caution in Al Cole's corner. And significantly, Nate Miller sort of stumbled back to his corner. Right now, we're in Al Cole's corner.
He fight, then you fight back. Why don't you start a fight a little bit? Okay? I don't know about that round. Deep breath.
Repeat it. Wait.
You're only fighting when he fights. Why don't you start a fight? Start a fight and kick his ass a little bit. Understand? You're only fighting back. You gotta take charge. You laying back too much. On the inside, you let him tie you up. Then he hit you, then you start fighting. Swallow that. Swallow.
And I think, Al, that Nate Miller is a tired fighter right now. I don't think he has a lot of rounds left in those legs.
Yeah, I think that may well be true. And part of it is that mental. There's Bobby Ches, who is the WBA Cruiserweight champion, beat Robert Daniels. Watching perhaps with more than passing interest. He might be willing to put his title on the line against the winner of this match. Of course, he and Al Cole, both New Jersey residents. It would be a pretty interesting bout out here.
Interesting advice from Hank Johnson. He wants Al Cole to fight Nate Miller a little bit more. We are in Newark, New Jersey. This is the battle for the USBA Cruiserweight Championships. Your humble and obedient servants, Barry Tompkins and Al Bernstein. We're watching Al Cole and Nate Miller. Miller suffering a rather serious cut in the first round, and the whole tenor of the fight from that point on has changed. It has been Al Cole who has really dictated the tempo. Now, whether you put that in a category of impressive performance, I suppose, is subject to debate.
Well, yeah, that'll be chewed on probably after this bout is done, depending on who wins. But the other thing that's sad is that cut came from a clash of heads rather than a punch. But it has, you know, the interesting thing is we've pointed out several times, Billy Hayward did a wonderful job of closing the cut. The eye is not swollen, so you wouldn't think it would have had the impact it did on Nate Miller, and yet it really did, almost instantaneously.
He just seemed to lose his concentration more than anything else. The cut is not really a factor in the fight right at the moment. But Nate Miller really looks tired to me.
He does, very tired, and surprising, really.
Cole hits him with a left hand. That won't help his tiredness.
Miller throwing the uppercut in the right. I mean, Nate Miller, let me tell you something. He's went 12 his last time with James Waring, lost the decision. Beat Tyrone Booz over 12. He's an excellent boxer. Knocked out Bert Cooper. Those are impressive credentials, but forget that, because right now Al Cole is manhandling him.
Yeah, he really is. He's roughing him up.
And one thing you would never underestimate with Al Cole is his desire. He is a young man that wants it very badly, works hard, and he's showing us that tonight. Of the three triple threat men, Charles, Murray, Mercer, and Cole probably has the least amount of natural ability, but he's a hard worker.
Good athlete, was a basketball player, and as you mentioned earlier, just a very nice guy. One of those guys you can't help but root for.
Now, Miller is fighting well off those ropes here. Doesn't have the punching room he needs. And the cut has reopened. And why not? There's heads and shoulders banging in there.
That was strictly a tired maneuver by Nate Miller. I don't think it had anything to do with being hurt.
Miller is getting those short right hands in, but Cole just shrugging him off. Very interesting 7th round. And as much as Cole has dominated the action over there, he really hasn't dominated the action because they were both landing their shots.
I'm sure, except in the eyes of the judges.
Yes, you're absolutely right. When you look at the actual punches landed, it's very close.
But from an appearance point of view, it looked like Cole was dictating it.
Yes.
In fact, he wasn't. I rest my case.
Yeah, it was very even. Both men landing good shots, but very close. Here is the portion at the end of that round. Now, Cole landing very well. Those are good shots. Miller will land some right hands in there. Miller started landing that short chopping right hand, working the hook. And we'll see another chopping right hand, I think, come over here. A little hook by Miller. There it is, another chopping right hand. That great shot. It's a good hook by Miller. So you can see, when you look, when you pay attention in close here, that's 50-50. That is a 50-50 exchange. Cole doing well at the beginning and Miller doing well after that.
So we start the 8th round. Remember, this is a 12-round fight, being for the USBA Championship. In the 7th round, again, just very consistent. Interestingly enough, you scored that round even.
Yeah, I did, and the percentages keep going down and down and down in this bout. Miller with the right hand getting in there, and Cole comes back with his own right. So,
and on your card, still a fight that can be had by either man.
yes, Cole ahead. I made the last round even, as you mentioned, but Cole ahead by 2 points. And you're probably right. He's probably ahead by more in some of the judges' cards. Good hook from there by Miller.
Come on, let's go, work out there. Come on, let's go, work out.
Although it may be presumptuous to say that, but I just have a feeling you're right. So. Not that I'd ever accuse you of being presumptuous, of course. Nate Miller has posed so much in this bout. Just refuses to throw the jab or to lead off with the jab, let's put it that way. And I've given up on the left hook completely. He's not even going to mention it anymore, okay? As he has never gotten back to that punch, which was so effective early in the bout. There it is. Look at it. Every time he throws that punch on the inside, he can land that hook. But he puts himself in a position where he can't throw the punch off to the right of Cole. Now, part of that is that Nate Miller is primarily a jabber and a straight right hand throw. There's the right hand.
That was really good right hand.
It is excellent right hand, and the uppercut works. But sometimes you have to adapt a little bit. There's the hook. Look at it. Oh, man, he can land that punch.
He was a little off balance with that one.
Yes, he was. But that shows you he throws it in an off-balance way, and it gets there. The blood flowing from the eye now of Miller in what is a pretty decent round for Nate Miller.
Miller looks like he might be looking for that left hook a little bit more.
Starting to, just a smidge. Not getting himself in a real good position to throw it, but he is throwing it.
You know, one of the things that I think is going to hurt Nate Miller in this fight is he appears to have about a minute and a half in him in every round.
Yeah, that's right. And when you look that tired toward the end, whether you're getting hitting with punches or not, the judges may look at that and be fooled.
Yeah, half a fight like this, I think, is perception, and Nate Miller is not winning that battle. Let's credit Al Cole for doing just enough.
Precisely.
Take a look at the jabs, and you're hardly looking at them, are you? They're non-existent.
The accuracy of the fighters in this bout has not been good. It hasn't been.
Miller got there with an uppercut. Miller has started the last few rounds in pretty good fashion, but has wilted along about the middle of the round.
Yeah, and in the last round, I thought it was enough to still give him the round.
Another headbutt a moment ago, and you have it still a one-point fight.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I'm basing it, like I always do in scoring, on how many punches I think guys have landed that are effective. Good right by Cole. And Miller comes back. Because in my mind, all the rest doesn't count for anything. Good right. Boy, that shook up Miller.
That did.
That hurt him.
He's in trouble, and an uppercut behind it. Miller would do well to grab here.
Good job by Cole in pushing him off and getting punching room. Excellent move by Al Cole. And going to the body. Good move by Cole.
Miller is still hurt. Another good right hand. Miller in trouble.
He rolled with one of those right hands, but Miller was stunned, no question. Now Cole having the kind of round that could put him back in the driver's seat in this bout. A huge round for Al Cole in a bout that has produced very few of them.
Good left hand by Cole's a double left. First one missed, second one got there.
And Miller is not answering back with much at all offensively. Cole landing two big shots from the inside. So Al Cole really showing you how badly he wants to win this bout.
A clash of heads in there also. There's been a lot of that tonight. Another warning from Joe Cortez for holding and hitting.
Come on, work out, come on. Let it go now. Come on, work out, guys, come on.
Uppercut by Miller.
This punch has gone by the wayside in recent rounds. It landed earlier. Well, he weathered the storm, Nate Miller, but lost this round big.
Yeah, Nate Miller is surviving, but doing nothing to give himself a chance to win the fight.
Not this round, for sure.
Boxing with his mouth wide open, Nate. He's tired. Tired, baby. You gotta be strong.
Given to, in the corner, good advice to Nate Miller They want him to bend his knees, but what they're really telling him, they're not telling him. When he says bend your knees and get up under, what he wants is the left hook. And he's kind of implying it to Nate Miller, but he's not really saying it. So I'm not nuts.
And Miller did start out doing that, or trying to do that in this round. Take a look at the numbers, and Cole clearly won the last round.
Yeah, very big round for Al Cole. Worked the body much better than Miller. And I'll tell you what else. He has worked very well inside Al Cole. Not known as an inside fighter per se. He has worked well on the inside.
Yeah, Cole doing enough to win the fight. Doing enough to win most of the rounds, I think.
And the Cole jab has become more and more effective as this bout has gone on. There's an example of it, setting up the right hand.
And he was really on balance with that, too. But you're right, since that cut in the first round, something went out of Nate Miller.
Boy, his sense of direction, his fire in this bout, he's shown it on 2 or 3 occasions, but not enough. Uppercut by Miller gets there, and a clubbing right hand. Work by Al Cole, though, getting out of there, getting out of harm's way.
All right, break it.
Well, Miller, I have to say, doesn't seem any more tired now than he did in about the 7th round. But he's also not any more effective than he was in the 7th round.
Well, Al Cole has, the 10th round may be as important as the 9th for Cole because he's shown he can keep control for 2 rounds in this bout.
Come to the end of the 10th round, and Nate Miller very simply is running out of rounds. He's got 2 left, and he almost certainly needs a knockout. We'll be back.
You know, Nate Miller has knocked out 15 of the 18 wins he's had and has knocked out some good people like Michael Greer, Bert Cooper. And let's give Al Cole some credit. He's been nailed with a couple of good shots by Miller, but has not come close to going down. Maybe stunned once or twice, possibly. But he has not succumbed. And you know, the tendency is with Al Cole because truthfully, he is not a classic boxer. He does miss a lot. He does have a herky-jerky style that you can tend to discount what he's doing in the ring. But tonight he's being quietly effective.
Yeah, he is. And also in this division, you know, the road to a title is a lot shorter road.
Well, it is. Of course, Bobby Chez is in the audience, one of the title holders. Jeff Lampkin, also another title holder they're thinking about going after. Duran, one of the other title holders who fights only, it seems, in Europe and keeps winning by decision, so he might not be the guy they want to go
Nobody
after.
wants him, do they?
No, they don't. I'm sure Bobby Chez is here for more than his health tonight, so that could be something we might see down the road.
Miller walked right into a cold right hand, but
it has gotten very messy now. Both men missing, both men holding. Cole's still a little bit more effective. And Joe Cortez has had a tough job in keeping this one from degenerating. He's been pretty on top of this.
Miller with a right hand, but it was only after 2 shots by Cole.
Good uppercut, though, by Miller. And there's the hook. Remember that punch? And a good jab. He has hurt Cole.
Yes, good body work by Miller. He's going to have to jump on him. Still got time in this round. He's got Cole hurt.
Excellent uppercut.
Got to jump on him.
Al Cole is wobbled. And that jab, an effective weapon.
Got there with the right hand. He might have been a little short with that. Cole backs out of there. Miller's got him in trouble. It won't take a lot more. Inside of 10 seconds left. Cole in big trouble.
Big body shot by Miller.
And Cole got through it.
What's wrong with you? You gotta get this. Now you gotta fight. Okay. So now you gotta fight this round. Understand?
Okay, it's the last round.
Here's the right hand that hurt Al Cole. Good uppercut on the inside, and that right hand. The left of Cole was very low, and Miller got there, and he landed a lot of punches.
Keep your hands up, and I want a lot of jabs and right hands, and you gotta be busy. You gotta be busy. You gotta win this round. Understand? You gotta win
Hank
this
Johnson
round.
telling him he has to win this round to win the fight. I'm not sure that's true, but he says stay busy, and I think that really is good advice.
Hands up. Keep your hands up.
And I'm sure in Nate Miller's corner they were saying, get him out of there.
But they do not want this to go to a decision. What does Nate Miller have left after expending all that energy? Boy, doesn't he wish that right hand had come about 40 seconds earlier or a minute earlier.
Yeah, because he did have Al Cole in a lot of trouble at the end of the round. And on your card, it would take a very big round at the very least for Miller to even get a piece of this.
Yeah, I've got Cole ahead by 2 points. I'll tell you what, though, Nate Miller's capable of scoring a knockdown here. He has stunned Cole a couple of times already in this round. If he gets punching where Miller can hurt him again, and he will hurt him again. Al Cole is wobbling. Good idea by Cole, though. Getting inside, getting where he can't be punched, but Miller's still landing some shots.
But not getting that kind of leverage that he would get at long range.
Precisely. Good hook. That hook stunned Al Cole. And another hook. Another one. Where has that punch been?
And again, and an uppercut behind it.
Al Cole showing you how game he is. Turned into a brawl, but an entertaining one right now. This New Jersey crowd exhorting Cole on, and he's going to need it. And you're right about the punching room for Miller.
Cole keeping him on the ropes. Now Miller got him off of there.
And if we feel that Miller would need a knockout or a knockdown, Cole is doing his job because he's keeping him pinned there where even if this turns out to be a round that Nate Miller wins, it still wouldn't probably do the job for him. And Joe Cortez doing the right thing by not breaking them. Good hook before by Cole.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Body
big
shot,
yeah.
right hand behind it.
I'll tell you, Barry, that double, oh man, it just keeps going back and forth. That double right to the body and the head by Miller is a tremendous weapon.
Excellent last round.
Oh, excellent last couple of rounds really by both these men. If the technique isn't terrific, as you see the uppercut by Cole, then certainly the determination and the effort is terrific.
And it's Cole on the offense at the end of the fight. 10 seconds left.
And Nate Miller just holding on now. He shot it in the 11th and the beginning of the 12th. It wasn't enough.
And it's over. Great last couple of rounds. Entertaining fight. If Al Cole gets the win, and we assume he will, hard-earned win for him.
Indeed, against the man who, while he didn't perform maybe as well as they would have liked in his corner, did have more than his share of moments. Probably won a lot of rounds because he did just enough.
You know, I'm just sitting here thinking I would almost be willing to bet that on at least one of the judges' cards, Al Cole gets 118 points. I'll be almost willing to bet.
I don't know.
We'll
A couple rounds you got to give to Miller. I ended up having a 3-point function in many of the rounds. Certainly 2 more punches, but the question is, of course, accuracy and what landed.
Right, but the other thing that we talked about that really always seems to come into play is perception. How do you see it? What does it look like? Not what's really happening. Let's go up to Michael Buffer, get the official word. We'll see.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Here is the official scoring. Eva Shane scores the bout 118 to 110. Al DeVito scores it 115 to 113. And John Potteret scores it 116 to 113 for the winner by unanimous decision. And still champion, Alfred Ice.